The Times broke a story that Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth once again used the Signal app to share sensitive details of a planned attack on the Houthis. And this time it was with his wife, his brother, and lawyer included on the chat, which means he did it again. Now, look, there's no question the media wants a scalp and they'd love it to be this guy. I do not believe that it's a fake story. But remember, details about the attack were also shared on a separate Signal app chat. This is a different one, okay? Hegseth decided to follow the Trump playbook, which is, when accused, attack who accuses you.
This is what the media does. They take anonymous sources from disgruntled former employees, and then they try to slash and burn people and ruin their reputations. Not going to work with me. So I'm happy to be here at the Easter egg roll with my dad and my kids, because, you know, this is what we're doing it for. These kids right here. This is why we're fighting the fake news media. This is why we're fighting slash and burn Democrats. This is why we're fighting hoaxsters. Hoaxsters. This group, no, this group right here, full of hoaxsters.
Now, you know what he didn't say? This is a lie. I wasn't on this Signal app. You notice he didn't say that, right? Why? Because he can't, because he's probably worried he'll get busted. Now, here's the good news. I don't think the president cares. I don't think he cares enough to give the satisfaction to the media and the people who are telling him he shouldn't have picked Hegseth from a morning post on Fox News to be one of the most important people in our government. He's been talking more, the president, about whether or not some Long Island high school team in Massapequa, New York, should keep the name the Chiefs than he has been about the chief of his Department of Defense. So let's bring in Democrat, member of Congress from Hawaii, Jill Tokuda, and GOP, member of Congress from Texas, Beth Van Duyne. It's good to have you both. Thank you very much. Best for Easter, if it applies. Beth, do you believe that there is any chance that the president goes bad on Hegseth for this? And what do you make of his response to it? The secretaries, not the president.
Hey, Chris, and happy Easter. Hope you had a good one with your family. You know, at this point in time, all of this is rumor. I don't know what was on that chat. I have not seen what was on that chat. I have heard that there are people that were on that chat that were later fired, and they're coming out and making this a story. This Signal chat, from what I understand, just from what I've read in the last couple of hours, was established well before he was ever even the Secretary of Defense. So how long has this been going on? I don't know. The information that was there, if it was the same that's already been made public, and an inspector general is looking into, let the inspector general do his job. But the information that I believe was already released was not what the media was trying to claim it was not what the Atlanta Reporter was trying to claim it was. And if this was similar, then I think it's the exact same story, just extended. But again, you know, he's got a job to do. I'm supportive of what the president is trying to do, leading through strength. And there is just a lot of noise that I think some people would prefer to be able to point to as opposed to the job that's getting done at hand.
Now, look, to me, Jill, the idea that he doesn't even address the specific allegations is proof that there's another way to look at it than Beth is, which is that he did this again. He's sloppy on Signal. But the idea that it is a death sentence, certainly that's what the media wants. Is that what the Democrats want? Do you think the Secretary of Defense should be kicked out because he's having conversations on Signal that you don't like?
Well, let's be clear here. What you're seeing is a pattern of abuse, of indiscretion, of disregard, of a lack of judgment. I'm going to be honest. The president of the United States deserves better than what Pete Hegseth is giving to him. And in defense of this country, there must be accountability. And I do believe that Pete Hegseth should be fired. You know, this is not a partisan issue. This is about an issue of competence, and more importantly, the incompetence that we are seeing from the actually confirmed Secretary of Defense. And every single person, Democrat or Republican, every citizen and American should be outraged that he's allowed to continue this pattern of behavior, escape any kind of judgment, and pass this off as rumor and conjecture when we've seen the facts, not just the Signal ones, but the fact that he was openly opening the doors for Elon Musk to take a look at our war plans with China. You know, he's brought his wife into sensitive meetings where it's not clear that she even has security clearance. Senior officials left and right are literally leaving the Pentagon right now. They are in chaos. Again, the president deserves better. Americans deserve better. And Pete Hegseth should be fired.
Doesn't look like the president's going to do it. Do you have any concerns, Beth? Because the Democrats can't do anything. They don't control any of the committees. But in terms of what would matter to you, what would matter to you as a Republican if the administration was exposed on that level at the Hegseth position? What would matter to you about him?
Was it gross incompetence? Was information that could have made a difference shared? What we've understood from right now is it hasn't. And I would ask the gentle lady, are you do you have information that the rest of the world doesn't have? Have you seen these signal chats firsthand? Do you know exactly what was in them? You're calling for this guy's head to roll, and you haven't even read the information yet. Let's jump to conclusions. What I have seen from a lot in the media, Chris, not necessarily you, but from a lot in the media, is they are already ready to have heads roll before they know information, whether or not it's the Hunter Biden laptop, whether or not it's the same press and the same media that was defending Joe Biden for being on the top of his game. We have seen lies after lies and distortions. And I think it would serve everyone well. Take a breath, get the facts, let an investigation happen. And then if that's where the facts lead, then do what you must. But for everybody to jump up and down on this, it's ridiculous, and it just follows the same old Democrat talking points.
Listen, I think that's a talking point too, though, Beth, and I'll say why, with all due respect. I'm fine with following the facts and getting somewhere. You guys never do that. I have never seen Congress get to the bottom of anything as a fact-finding mission. It's all pageantry and circuses. And I don't disagree, by the way. He's not going to get rid of him, okay? And it's his decision. And if that changes, then it changes. But it's not going to be changing because the Democrats yell at him. But the idea that there's a standard, I think if you flip the R and the D, we'd be having the same conversation in reverse right now. You'd be saying how Biden is brain dead, and that's why he put this fool in this position, and look what's happening, and this is just terrible. You know, that's my concern with it. But you know what? There's an instruction for you in that as well, Jill. You're not going to get rid of the guy. Why do the Democrats think you're going to get traction by going bad on Trump and the choices that he makes when you know you don't have the power to do anything about it? Isn't there another way to impress the American people?
Well, Chris, let me just tell you this. If the tables were turned and a Democrat screwed up the way Pete Hegseth did, I would be one of the first people in line to say he should absolutely resign. He should absolutely be fired. This is about the security and safety of our service members. When you think and look, take a look at that first signal chat that was leaked out by The Atlantic. He put service members' lives at risk. Every time we go, just like Representative Van Duyne goes, and we thank our service members for their service, we thank their families for their sacrifice. How can you do that with a straight face and honestly say that when you know the Secretary of Defense, the leader of this department, has exposed them and put them at risk with everything that he is doing right now? This isn't a partisan issue. This is that Americans, and even this president, and even you, Representative Van Duyne, deserve much better than what we are getting from Pete Hegseth.
You know who deserves better? I do. That's my new position. And not just from Hegseth. I think I deserve better from everybody in there. I really do. I think you guys should talk about nothing except how you're going to fix the fact that someone at the head of a corporation can make 350 times what the people who made him rich get paid, and that we've decided it's okay. I think all this other stuff, unless someone attacks us, is a waste of time. But Jill Tokuda, I appreciate you making the case right here. Beth Van Duyne, welcome to the show. It's good to have you here as well. Thank you. Rebirth and renewal. Let's see if anything changes for the better. We'll stay in touch. Hey, thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget, click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.